Alright, next up we have Atonement from the Halo 4 original soundtrack. Once again, everybody, this is a Basterd's LFA, a layman-friendly analysis. I'm a professionally trained musician, a composer, and my objective here is to explain things in a way so that you don't have to be one to understand what is happening here musically. If you like the sound of that, make sure you're following the channel, subscribe to the channel, whatever term you want to use, like the video, share the video, leave a comment, turn on notifications, all that good stuff. Consider becoming one of them paid subscription member things. Support the channel for even further that way. And, of course, 2 disclaimers. Number 1, I will be pausing a lot. Sometimes several times within the same second, because I'm going to be pointing things out as I hear them. This is my very first time hearing this track. And number 2, this is happening live on stream on a single take. We're recording this on a single take, so I might stumble upon my words here and there. Whatever happens, happens kind of thing. So, with that being said, let's do this. Atonement. Oh, I did not open Paint. Now we're good. Let's go. Okay. We have the start. Solo vocalist, female. I don't know if that was yodeling or if that was a sound engineering kind of thing. But we start with our motif. The motif, of course, being the smallest version of our musical idea, the seed from which everything else comes from. However, in this case, we are having a little bit of yodeling. For those of you who don't know what yodeling is, or how it works, I think yodeling, is with one L. So yodeling is the art of switching between falsetto and non-falsetto. S7X, welcome today. How you doing? Samuel's welcome today. So, when we sing, when we speak, we have our regular voice, and then there's falsetto. Falsetto is when you push your voice higher than you can than your regular range would do. So in my case, if I were to do falsetto, it sounds like this, and then my voice sounds normally like this. That is the difference between falsetto and your normal voice. Yodeling is bouncing back and forth between both of them very, very, very quickly. Very popularly done in country music and, of course, the German, Austrian yodeling kind of thing, which is that thing. What is the opposite of falsetto? I don't know the name for that. I think that's just voice. That's just the regular voice. So basically, yodeling is making that leap extremely fast. It is used in a lot of folk music. It is used in, of course, yodeling, in those, like, German yodeling things. It's a lot of fun, and right now I think I heard a little bit of that. Because, again, it's very, very common in Celtic music to use that kind of falsetto to add a bit of extra punctures there to the voice. Let's see where this goes, though. I think it's yodeling, yeah. Nice. No, it's not yodeling. It's not yodeling. They're cutting the throat. They're basically just hitting the throat to interrupt the sound. It's very majestic, and it works as a way of interrupting. Zelnick, welcome to today. How you doing? So yeah, no, turns out it wasn't yodeling. It was a different technique. Could be like hitting your chest, because, you know, if you hit your chest, you get this kind of, you get that little bouncing. It could be like hitting maybe the side of the neck, something like that. Sounds kind of a little bit like a Middle Eastern technique kind of thing. Very beautiful, and I love that we are just letting these melodies go and just fully develop themselves using these versions, these motifs. Very beautiful. Let's see. It sets the scene. Let's see where this goes. And it has a lot of reverb, yeah. That was a little bit of reverb of yodeling. That was yodeling. So it looks like we're bouncing back and forth between those two. Okay. Oh. And there we go. We are doing a little bit of recap. I think it's partially recapitulation, partially just bringing a new variation to one of the motifs that we heard already. And of course, we bring in the upper end of the string orchestra. String orchestra, once again, being the part of the orchestra that is made of the strings. Which ones are these? That would be two sections of violins, one section of violas, one section of cellos, and one section of double basses. So the way usually you will have this is that you will have the director. I can write, I promise. Then you will have a violin 1 on this side, violin 2 over here, then violas over here, cellos over here. I can write, I promise, and double basses in the back. And usually when it comes to these, you can go from chamber size. Chamber orchestras just mean smaller orchestra. And those can be maybe two of each, like 2 first violins, 2 second violins, 2 violas, 2 cellos, and 1 double bass. Or it can go as big as a philharmonic or symphony orchestra, 16 first violins, 16 second violins, 14 violas, 12 cellos, 10 double basses. Really, 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 really just massive scale for these. So, let's see where this goes. Because right now we have the upper end giving us this very beautiful sense that you can get this with the violins. If you have the violins play a chord very high up, especially if it's an open chord. Open chords, by the way. So there are 2 types of chords. Usually there's open chords and there's closed chords. So the way it works, right? We've talked about scales before. When it comes to music, you will have, usually in Western music, most of our scales will have 7 notes within them, and then they start over with the octave. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and then we go back to 1, which we call the octave. Now, a chord is when you stack the notes vertically. Usually it will be skipping 1, so to speak, doing what we call thirds. So the most common one, the root chord, would be 1, 3, and 5. So if we do that, we will be putting 1, 3, and 5, with 1 being the bass note and the 5 being the highest note. When it comes to these kinds of things, let me put a second octave. 4, 5, 6, 7. A closed chord means that the chord is contained within the same octave, which means 1, 3, and 5 are all within an octave, because the octave here would be from 1 to 1. That's a closed chord. An open chord is if we were to take one of the notes and invert it. So for example, if we were to use 1, 5, and then the 3 up here, then this is no longer confined within the same octave. Now it's become an open chord. So it just means that the notes are spread higher and further away. There's more distance between the octaves and the notes. So if you do that with violins, and the violins keep some of the higher notes, you can get this really beautiful texture of you have them do that and do that quietly, and you get this texture of just kind of like a starlit sky. And it's a very, very, very beautiful thing. It's a very beautiful thing, which is what we just heard over here. So let's continue. Terracotta, welcome to the day. How you doing? Oh, and on top we brought more voices to add more harmony to the back. Oh, that was beautiful. Oh, that is written in A Dorian. Okay, so Dorian... That makes sense. That makes sense. Dorian being one of the 7 Greek modes. So when it comes to scales, let me go through the idea of the Greek modes real quick. So when it comes to scales, it's been a while since I've used this concept. We have parallel versus relative scales. Now, a parallel scale means that you have 2 scales that start and end on the same note, and the notes in between are different. A relative scale are the scales that you get from a certain set of notes. So in the case of, let's say, C major. So C major, C, D, E, F, G, A, B, and then C again. If we were to do a C minor scale and compare it to that, then C, D, E flat, F, G, A flat, B flat, and C, that is the parallel C minor to C major. However, if we were to take C, D, E, A, F, G, A, B, if we were to take the same scale and start from a different point, we will get a different relative scale. And coming from the first scale, which the major scale, C major, and this one is characterized by being all the white keys on the piano, C major is in the Greek modes called the Ionian scale. Now, if we were to use the same notes but started from D, we would get C Dorian. If we were to start from E, we would get E Phrygian. If we were to start from F, we would get F Lydian. If we were to start from G, the Mixo-Lydian. If we were to start from A, the Aeolian, or nowadays we know it as the natural minor scale. B would be Locrian, and then C, which is Ionian, or as we call it nowadays, the major scale. So these are the 7 Greek modes, and they are relative to them, to this key. So A Dorian is just the same structure that you would get from a D Dorian scale, and just transposing that to an A scale. And that's it. It's kind of like each scale is an offset of the previous one. When it comes to relative scales, it's kind of like that. Which is why if you're playing a song in C major, you can play your solo in F Lydian, and it's going to sound just fine. It's going to sound just fine because you're still using the same notes. You're just starting the scale from a different point. That is a relative scale. If you were to play a C minor scale, like a solo in C minor, but your piece is in C major, it would conflict because now you're using parallel scales. So yeah, we got this, and apparently this piece is written in A Dorian, which, if you really want to get technical, the formula, because each scale has a specific formula to it, and that's how the structure works, right? So in the case of a major scale, the thing is that you have a major second, a major third, a perfect fourth, a perfect fifth, a major sixth, and a major seventh. Let me just move this a little bit further over here. What do these mean? Now that's a different. Now that is the distance between the first note and the note that we're talking about. So from C to D, there's a major second in the major scale. From C to E, there's a major third. From C to F, it's a perfect fourth, perfect fifth to G, major sixth to A, major seventh to B. They all have their own specific, formula to them. So in the case of Dorian, you have a major second, a minor third, perfect fourth, perfect fifth, major sixth, and minor seventh, which is almost similar to the natural minor, which is major second, minor third, perfect fourth, perfect fifth, minor sixth, minor seventh. So many of these scales will have very similar compounds to each other. It's just going to be the formula. And yes, every single major scale that exists, as long as it's a major scale, it's going to have a major second, a major third, a perfect fourth, perfect fifth, a major sixth, and a major seventh, because those are the observation. You are a major scale not because you have you are the major second isn't there because it's a major scale. It's a major scale because it has the major second, major third, perfect fourth, perfect fifth, major sixth, major seventh. That a major scale that would not be a term that we have, because then there are other types of scales, like there's altered scales. And Samus, welcome today. How you doing? So yes, by the way, do not alt account. Do not do alt accounts. So let's hope that this is just a coincidence. So yeah, no. When it comes to these, they will all have their different ones. For example, the Lydian scale, it's almost the same thing as the major scale. So major 2, major 2nd, major 3rd, and augmented 4th, a perfect 5th, major 6th, major 7th, and that's the one difference. Like, many of these will have one difference to another one, and it gets pretty wild. So in the case of the Dorian, the major, having a minor 3rd for most scales will make him sound minor. So that's the formula. Major 3rd means it's going to sound major. Minor 3rd is going to make it sound minor. Now, we're going very deep into this concept, but yeah, that was just to address what Kyla had said. Let's continue. Mm-hmm. Oh, beautiful. So we're bringing back some of the motifs we used, and we are doing doublings. Part of the vocals things that are happening are now being doubled by the violins. So the concept of doubling, Le Petit Cornichon Salad, welcome to today, how you doing? So the concept of doubling is a concept in orchestration. It just is more than one instrument or more than one section doing the same musical idea, but in their range. And right now, this is something that you do for texture, and that is exactly what is happening. We have the singer, the soloist, doing her thing, and we are in some parts of that melody, we are having the violins come in and play that same melody, but in their range, in their instrument. So it's giving it this sense of increasing scale, while at the same time adding more texture to it. So let's see where it goes. Mm-hmm. Oh. Ooh, and now the violins or the string orchestra is going furthermore into the idea of accompaniment. Accompaniment just means that it's the backing track, basically. It's not to be diminutive or dismissive, it's just, the function is now different. It's no longer singing with the vocal, is no longer playing with the vocalist, it's playing for the vocalist. So let's see where this goes. Beautiful. Oh. Complete change of texture here. We got a piano. We're getting a lot of backwards, like reversed audio samples. So a reversed audio sample, this is, I don't know what else to call them, is when you have a audio file, which usually, you will have your audio file and it has the things and it's going forwards in time. And once you record it, it's kind of there. It's kind of there. However, if you take it on a software and you reverse the sound wave, you can make it sound backwards, including everything such as the sound of the airwaves now are going backwards, giving us that sense of ethereal. So many times whenever you hear whenever you hear in some music something that sounds weird and ethereal that way, it's usually going to be audio samples played backwards. So let's see. Really cool. So yeah, we have a piano there. Yes! And we get a French horn solo. So, a French horn, for those of you who haven't seen one, it is this funny looking feller. It is one of my favorite instruments. It is incredibly difficult to play, and unlike the trumpet and the trombone, which usually the bell is pointing forwards, this one the bell points backwards. And the sound of this, as you just heard, is a very warm, it's very majestic, as opposed to the trumpet and the trombone, which are a little bit more militaristic, more triumphant, rather than the serenity that a French horn can give. Unlike the trumpet, the trombone, and the tuba, a French horn you can actually play quiet. You can play fairly quietly. And yeah, we just did this. Like, I've done this with some of my pieces that you want to feel in space. You bring a French horn, and you just have them make these big leaps, and there's these beautiful melodies. It's very. I played French horn in middle school. Nice. These very beautiful, and it's just, yeah, very beautiful. And I am just happy that we got a French horn solo. I can't speak today. Double basses. Ooh. The euphonium, because you kept accidentally breaking the keys. I mean, euphoniums have a bit more stronger. Okay, another interesting thing is that while this was happening, the double bass was holding a pedal note. Very, very difficult to hear. Very, very difficult to hear. And it's okay, Extreme, you can just tell me if you win. And that's it. It's just holding that note, holding everything together, giving us a foundation for everything. It was very quiet. I could barely hear it, but it is there. So, oh, now we repeat it, but with the violins up there. We're increasing the pressure, the intensity. We are just letting the string orchestra do its thing. And we just heard a very beautiful thing that is pretty unique to a string orchestra. You want to add absolute drama to a piece? Yes, bringing the string orchestra, they're doing this very beautiful bit of counterpoint. Counterpoint being the study of melodies, how they interact with each other, with themselves, that kind of thing. And you do this, and then you have the first violins do whatever they're doing, but you just make them do it higher. And especially if you get them to do that, make that leap up, we hear this. So we're bringing more brass as well. Yeah, that's the trombones as well. Oh. Yes! Oh my god! Yes, this is a perfect example. Oh my god, hang on, I need to catch myself here. That was beautiful. So, Basterd, welcome to today. How you doing? When you're making music, you're doing one of two things. You are building tension or you are resolving that tension. This little moment in between we call the cadence. And what we just heard was the crescendo. Crescendo is just, we're growing, it's going higher, and Divas, that would be me. So we are going towards the climax, going towards the climax, going towards the climax, and we resolve the climax not with a bombastic, just absolutely loud high note, a very subtle. We are still resolving to that high note, but now it's a very soft whimper of a note. I need to hear that again. I need to hear that again. Oh. Oh, and we break it down with the piano. Oh. And then it ends. So yes, this is what I've been saying. You build up one of these super dramatic, like it feels heartfelt, and it just, you just feel like it's about to explode, and then you end it with that last nice, quiet, very high note violin, a couple of chords, very soft piano, and mwah. And the piano was the 5 notes of one final... And the piano plays a leitmotif from one final effort. Look at that. So yeah, no, that was... Oh, that was an incredible ending. One of the best I've seen so far in the LFAs. Because I've said this many times. If you want to, like, finish a climax, do it that way. Do it not with a bang, but with a whimper. And it just adds so much drama to it. And there you go. There you go. My God, that is... that was beautiful. There you go. That was Atonement from the Halo 4 original soundtrack. What a piece, man. That was a journey. That was quite the journey. Like, we still did a bunch of the motifs over and over again, but it really, that was beautiful. Once again, everybody, this has been a Basterd's LFA Layman-Friendly analysis. If you're watching this on the video archive, thank you for watching. Make sure you're subscribed to the channel, follow the channel, whatever term you want to use. Like the video, share the video, leave a comment, turn on notifications, consider becoming a member. One of them paid membership, support the channel further that way. Yeah, no obligation. If you want to listen to this without me interrupting every 3 seconds, I will be linking it below. If you want to request a song and you're not on the live stream, linked below is the Discord. Go to the LFA requests channel and follow the instructions on the pinned comments. And if you want to catch these streams live, linked in the description will be the Twitch channel and the Discord. They both have the stream schedule tab or channel, respectively, that show the stream starting points on your local time zone so that you don't have to worry about calculating, like, what time is 6 p.m. Central European time. It's all down there, right? So, with that, yeah, thank you for watching. There you go. Atonement from Halo 4. That was beautiful. Oh, it was beautiful, but yeah.